I got to talk. I got to tell what I feel. I got to talk about my life as I see
Welcome to the NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show. I'm your host, Coach Uncle Milt, and we here at the 26th episode. What's up, Joe?
I'm good. How you doing?
Yeah, all right. Yo, listen, next week is our last episode for the season, for the holiday season. We will be back second week of January, and it's going to be a dynamic show the next week. And we're going to let you know, in later on in the week on what's going on. But we building the last show. We're going to have a party up here, you know what I'm saying, and just celebrate our first season, and the ready, doing the podcast and everything. But it's National Week. We was very interested down at Nationals this week down in Florida, and we got some good news, and we're gonna start off with that. We're gonna talk about later the Riot Squad D1 14U just won, so they got one more game to be national champions. They're the only D1 team out of New York competing on a D1 level, and we're going to talk about congratulations, Coach Carl, Coach Loso, Coach Brown, all those guys over there and those kids, man. Congratulations for that win. We just got that in. We want to send a congratulations out to the Staten Island Hurricanes, 12U, in the D2 division. They just won their game, and we're going to have the scores and things later on. With D1 Podcast, Ralph from D1 Podcast. You're going to have this congratulations to them, But everybody else, they played hard, and it's what it is. They played hard, but what can we say? This show is about, like I said last week, this show is about getting New York City football, youth football as a whole, right, as a whole. We got a few teams, speckled teams and things, but we're not respected when we leave our state. And that's just my opinion. We're not respected. Nobody cares about New York City football when we leave the state. We play down in the tournaments. We don't do well. Florida, we don't do well as a whole. This year, we got two teams left, but the teams that went down there, they tried hard, and it is what it is. And when you leave the state to play, it's about winning. It's about winning, and there's no accolades for second place. It's about winning, and that's what it is. So I got a question: are New York City teams, New York City youth football teams, competitive when they play out of state tournaments, regionals, and nationals? Are they competitive? And we're going to break it down. I'm breaking it down just like this in categories. A, coaching. Are the coaches, are they realistically evaluating what the kids can do or not can do in 22 positions? Are they realistically evaluating in 22 positions before you leave this state? Am I going to compete? Number B, talent. The number of kids that's fundamentally sound to compete in all positions. It's the same thing I just said on one. Is the kid's talented enough? Not I got 2 or 3 studs and everybody else is sub-average. Is that really being looked at? Number 3, which I think is the important thing, is conditioning. Are they in shape? Are they in shape? The whole team, in order to play, this game, this team game, they must be mentally and physically prepared. Now, if you go to these tournaments and nationals, you got to play 2 to 3 games in 1 week. 2 to 3 games in 1 week. Are they ready to play that, the whole team? Are they competitive? I'm going to strike that competitive. Competing. Can they compete in the conditioning to play these games and finish out? Because I know they only play 1 game a week. And a big thing that a D1 is trying to do, because he's here too, is say, okay, listen, I'm going to do a tournament to see, to see, he wants to do a summer tournament, and also the big tournament is the Turkey Bowl. Just see if you're conditioned enough to play nationals. It doesn't make sense you lose the first game or you play good on the first game and you lose the second game so bad. It's like crazy. We don't know. Right? We got to point it out so we can straighten it out. We have to straighten out ourselves first in New York City. A banner was posted on Facebook about New York versus everyone. I don't agree to that. I think that we got to straighten ourselves out before, because the people, who's everybody? The people don't care nothing about us. They laugh at us, Like, these guys can play basketball, but football, they can't play. And I talked to a couple of credible people out of state. They laugh at us. Your guys got a few, but yeah, I want to give it up to, like, we got D1 there. Ralph, you there? Ralph? Yeah, Ralph is here from D1 Nation, and he knows more out of state people than I do, and the way the climate is about how youth football in New York City is judged from an out of state view. So I know these guys want to have these they want to go down to these nationals and have this national program, and they go down there and they're under a D2 bracket, and you got to go, wow, these games is, whoa. I mean, what's going on? It don't look like we're not competing, at a high level. We're gonna go over the scores a little later on in the show, but you got something to chime in about, Ralph, about what we just said on these topics about coaching, talent, conditioning,
Well, for the most part, I think conditioning is like number one, regardless of anything. If you're not conditioned, no matter how good the players are, you won't be able to compete. Mm-hmm. And at some point, the coaches have to realize that one star, and it's crazy that the Bowie Broncos is one of those teams. They had that one star, number 0, who was unstoppable, and they went down to the Generation X National Championship, and they put a stop to that one player.
Yeah, I saw it.
They put a stop to that one player. Mm-hmm. So imagine if that entire team was built, or that entire team was conditioned like that one player, mm-hmm. how far they would have made it.
Yeah.
Not taking anything from them, because their resume for this year was ridiculous.
Impeccable the resume.
15-0.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like,
yeah, they lost. They won that second game.
They won the second game.
They won the second game.
And it's crazy. The team that beat them, FU Falcons United, they beat them the first round, and Falcons United lost the second round.
Yeah.
So, and it's just one of those things these coaches have to understand. Like, we can't keep saying, "Oh, the South is different because they can practice all year round." Bowie Broncos are in Maryland.
Nah.
It snows. It gets cold. And it's just all about you have to want it. Like you said, the coaches have to be in on the vision.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry for that interruption. Let me mute my phone. It's like the Bowie Broncos. They had 15 games.
15 games.
15 games. It was 15-0. And they
did it smart. They handle business at home.
Yeah.
They handle business at home. They left home being the best from their state.
Yeah.
And then they even hit the road. And every tournament on the East Coast that was available for them to sign up, they signed up for it.
Yeah.
They did fundraisers. They went out there. They got sponsorship. They made it so that these players can compete on that national level.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, a lot of things you can do. I got a couple of ways to fix it, and we're gonna say it later on in the show. But we want to hear from you, the listening audience. Chime in on this 347-776-7070. That's 347-776-7070. Tell me what you think what the team got to do to compete.
And then too, that whole D2 thing, man. I have to touch that.
Yeah.
And it's just because that New York football, the only way we're going to compete, you would never get respected when you're playing D2 football, youth football.
Mm-hmm.
You would never get respected. They're going to continue to laugh at New York, and that's just because it's D2. Mm. You can't call yourself the best at home but go to national and be D2. Now, once again, I'm not taking anything from the kids. The kids will line, and that's what you got to give about New York kids, I can say, is that the kids will line up wherever the coaches tell them to line up.
Yeah.
The kids have the heart enough to line up wherever the coach. They won't turn down from a challenge. And that's where it comes down to the egos of the coaches and these leagues that try to take it away from the kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
The kids want to play, let them play.
So
the kids would have played D1 and they would have showed out at D1, I'm sure of it. Yeah. Because New York is about competition. It's a concrete jungle at the end of the day.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're right, Ralph. I mean, don't call up here and say we're taking anything from the kids. We want the voice of the kids, but regardless what it is, man, some teams make it important that it's D1, and then when they leave the state, they D2, and what's going on with that? And then they turn it around. It's like, oh, we it's us against them, and they don't care. They don't care about us. I hear from some circles, and Ralph, you can agree on this, that it's just some people that's deep in the youth football business and the deep in it youth football say, man, we tired of beating up on them, man. We want y'all to be competitive, man. Come on.
Exactly, and that's what it is. They're looking at it like that's why these top teams don't come to New York to play. They want New York to come to them because they're looking at it like I'm not wasting the money to go to New York, and we already know the outcome.
I think they want to come to New York, but they want to come.
I'm sure they want to come to New York.
They want to come
to New York to compete.
Yeah, they want to come to somebody that's going to compete. And listen, man, we got to straighten up our situation first. Because we got a bunch of politics going on, a bunch of stuff going on that we need to straighten up our situation first. And I'm going to get into that. Later on in the show. But, if anybody want to call in, just like I said, 347-776-7070. That's 347-776-7070. We'd love to hear from you on what you think.
And also know that, and I'm not just saying this to try to promote D1 Nation, to get people to come to my events, not at all. Buffalo, for example, they didn't play in not one of my events. They went out there, they played in Generation X, the grade 8 elite out of Buffalo, New York. They went out there, they beat a Generation X nationally ranked team and got an invite to the Generation Next National Championship. At the end of the day, everybody has their national championships, but regardless, I am D1 Nation, but you have to give respect where respect is due, and the Generation Next is the top of the top of national championships.
Okay.
Hands down, period.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they're by invite only. So regardless how good you think you're at home, if they don't contact you at the end of the day, then unfortunately you're not, you didn't play as good as you think.
And that's somebody who does the same thing. He's D1 Nation out of state too, so he puts on a thing too, and he wants to have a competitive tournament also. So he's giving props, he's giving homage with his due that this is it. But now my thing is like to New York teams that goes down to regionals, that goes down to nationals, and they come back with the same results. What is going on? We got to change it up. We have to change. We have to put our minds together and figure this out and change it up. Is it the coaching? Is it the talent? Is it conditioning? Or is all the teams is not able to go? Maybe those are the teams that should get the opportunity.
Because believe it or not, this year it was more like a lot of teams that weren't ranked that finally made it to go to these national championships are the ones winning.
Yeah.
Because they finally got their sponsorships up, their fundraising dollars up, so they were able to finally make it to these national championships. So that just shows you, New York has the talent. We have the talent, hands down, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We just have to be able to go out there and compete and show that we have the talent.
Yeah.
But like I said, the kids will play where you put them. They will not say, oh, no, I don't want to play them. That guy is ranked too high. The kids won't say that.
No. Kids say, this is what we playing. The kids say, okay, this is what we got to play? All right, let's go. Let's go. This was going on. Let's go. Let's go.
And that's what it is. The coaches have to realize at some point in time, we can't keep beating our chest with the local accomplishments, but want to be nationally ranked.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, National League football is not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's not for you, the comments are not directed towards you. The comments are directed towards the people that want to be nationally ranked, but don't want to play outside of your league.
Yeah, repeat that again, because sometimes they get hard-headed. They turn it around.
The people in the back that couldn't hear me. This is not for you if you do not want to be nationally ranked. The comment is based for the people that want to be nationally ranked, but do not want to play outside your league.
No.
You can ask anyone that is on any national rankings and ask them how many games did they play, not even outside of their state, outside of their league.
Yeah, and don't use that because we a national organization. We're a national organization that who you are, who we play, who you play. No, who you play. You ain't play nobody neither. Who they play? Who you play outside your situation? Because football is the same.
Be the best in your league.
Because you're not part of a league, you're not part of the politics, and I call it the politics, doesn't mean that a team outside is better than you.
Not at all. And that's
why you better than them.
That's why tournaments like Generation Next or D1 Nation National Championship, those are independent national championships. Regardless if you're on AYF, UYFL, Pop Warner, AAU, none of that matters.
So
if you feel that you want to compete, reach out, compete. National tournaments are coming into our backyard now. We just have to be willing to go out there and line up and show that we can compete. So
September at the non-U division, the Bowie Broncos comes in Jersey, and they slain, and nobody in New York wanted to challenge them. Nobody. That was a chance to do it. We had
more out-of-state teams than New York teams.
Let's get it right, man. What D1 is bringing, and they're like, nah, Uncle Milt just pushing a D1 agenda. No, ain't nobody else doing it.
And that's what it is. Don't come to a D1 event. I am perfectly fine with that. I'm not doing this to promote D1 Nation event. I'm doing it to try to promote New York football.
Exactly.
Like I said, Buffalo, the grade 8 elite out of Buffalo, New York, did not play in one D1 Nation event. Hats off to that team, to that program, to that organization. They went out there. They And they said it, they weren't able to play in New York football because of, the whole COVID and everything. So they played out of another league in another state nearby. But they still traveled. They went down and they seen one of the teams that was ranked on the Generation Next because that's the national championship they wanted to be a part of.
Yeah.
So they went out there, they said, you know what, I want to beat up on this team. So they went out there, beat up on that team, and they got an invite to the big dance. That's not a D1 event.
Yeah. Well, that's being real, man. That's being real. We got a call coming in. Let's see who it is. Podcast show, can I help you?
What's going on, man? It's Jay.
Well, what's up, Jay? It's Jay for the Phenomenal Mike and J. Hold on, Jay. This is Jay for the Phenomenal Mike and Jay show. What's up, Jay?
I'm here to talk about nationals because I'm hearing a lot of stuff.
Okay.
And you got it all wrong.
Educate us, Jay.
Do you guys know the difference between Division 1 and Division 2 in Florida?
Yeah, educate us, Jay.
No, I'm just asking because.
No, you're gonna.
I don't. I've never been in a league or dealt with a league that had a D1 and a D2.
No, but you're gonna tell us though, Jay. You're gonna tell us though.
I'm gonna tell you right now. You can't say New York's not competitive when you have
Jay.
about 4 teams competing for 3rd place on Friday.
Jay, educate us. Jay, you called to make a statement or you called to educate us about it?
I'm
all right then. So you got the mic.
You're not letting me talk.
You got the mic. You want to be quiet?
Okay. So New York City. When did New York City become unlimited weight?
You mean your league? You mean Big Apple?
Yes. When did Big Apple become unlimited weight?
2 years ago.
Okay, exactly. So in nationals, we're in unlimited divisions. In nationals, everybody in New York has D1 weighted division national championships. Right? So New York as a whole moved over 2 years ago into the unlimited bracket. So UIFL did not put New York in the Division 1 unlimited bracket because they're new. They're transitioning over. That's why they're not in Division 1.
So
it's nothing about the kids, nothing about the coaches, none of that other stuff. It's what the league, UIFL, chose to do. They didn't want to throw the New York team in the fire because if you look at it during the year, New York City didn't even have big kids on their team that played unlimited football.
Question. Last year, 8U, Brooklyn Chief, unlimited, right? 9U, Show, unlimited. 10U, Show, unlimited. 11U, Brooklyn Renegades, unlimited. 12U, Brooklyn Chiefs, unlimited. And the Chief played in Empire, right? Not Big Apple.
They played in Empire, yes.
They played in Empire. But we got a show and the same, and this is UYFL, right? 12U, Brooklyn Braves, and I'm missing something. Oh yeah, Freeport, 12U. That was all Big Apple, unlimited.
It was 13U.
All right, my mistake, 13U, but it was all Big Apple. Yep. What division did they play last year? What division was it?
Division 2.
Division 2. Okay, you play in Division 2. So you saying this year is the same reason because you're unlimited again.
Big Apple just went unlimited 2 years ago. So they transitioned over to...
But this is a 2-year transition if you're saying. Because last year you play unlimited. You went into unlimited.
So exactly.
And if I'm
2 years, they're unlimited.
And if I'm not mistaken, they only had one team in the waiting, which is the show, right, Ralph? Ralph, you still there?
The show,
Say it again.
What team? Hold on, Jay. Hold on. Jay, hold on. What? They had something in the weighted division last year. The show, right? There was in a weighted division last year. One team you had in the weighted.
I'm not sure.
The Renegades had a weighted. The Renegades was in a weighted division last year.
2 teams?
But they played 12U last year, and then they played Mighty Mites. When they was in 10U, they was 9U last year. So they played Mighty Mites and they played Pee Wee.
So explain to me. Last year, let's say off the rip, 80% of Big Apple teams play unlimited. The only one that was a Big Apple team, the only one wasn't a Big Apple team was the Brooklyn Chiefs.
Yes.
So y'all was in D1, y'all was in D2 last year.
Yes.
So this year, this year the same. It's the same thing. Oh, this is our first year. No, this is your second year, and it's the same D2.
Yes.
All right, Jay. Explain that to me.
I just explained it to you. What did you hear?
It's a 1-year process or a 2-year process?
It's a process whenever the UIFL makes a decision. It's not has nothing to do with us. We can't do anything. We can't.
Question, can I chime in real quick? Because I seen somebody had asked that question under one of the posts, and I seen Tyrone commented and said that it was his call to make all the Big Apple teams D2.
I got that understanding. That is a request, or they do it. It's a request. I call now. It's a
and
request.
And he said because New York, they're trying to prepare New York for big boy football.
So what do you think of that, Jay?
So Ralphie just said that. So if Ralphie knows that, and I just said the same thing, what's the thing?
Well, no, you said it's UIFL's call.
You said UIFL.
Do you know what teams have national championships in New York City?
D1 or D2?
D1.
Yeah, that's a good question. When the last D1 championship team came out of New York?
I'm just asking a question. Do you know what
Jay,
have D1 championships in New York City?
Jay.
Not at all.
Okay, so the Harlem Jets have a D1 championship. The San Antonio Hurricanes has 14 national championships.
At D1? At D1?
And yes, at D1.
At D1.
And the Yonkers Gladiators has a Division I championship at junior midgets.
You mean?
So
hold on, Jay. So you're saying, Jay? You're saying. Hold on a second, Jay. Don't hang up, Jay. Hold for a minute. We're gonna get back to you. Hold on. Hello, Jay. You there? Jay, you there? All right. So at weighted, you're saying weighted, like weighted. You have how many D1 at weighted?
I just said, 14, 15, 16. So
16 championships at weighted?
16 championships at weighted.
At D1?
They have none unlimited. New York City has none unlimited championships. They have no unlimited championships.
New York City doesn't have what?
What do weighted have Division 1 and 2?
Huh?
Do weighted have Division 1 and 2?
Yes, they do. Weighted has Division 1 and Division 2. And New York City plays Division 1 weighted football.
All right, Jay, man. Thanks for your call, man.
Hold on. I want to ask him a question.
I'm not done yet.
Jay, question. And this is just on the topic of exposing New York football. Do you think by playing D2 football, playing weighted football, New York will get the recognition that it deserves? For the people that wants those recognition.
Let me ask you a question. What recognition? You can't say recognition if you've never been down here to coach it. Like, the recognition is recognition. New York is down here holding it down. Like, I don't understand what y'all talking about. New York is down here holding it.
It's more so talking about everybody wanting to be nationally ranked on all these.
Hold on, Jay. Go ahead, Rob. Hold on. Listen to what he's saying, Jay.
It's more so the people that want to be nationally ranked on the independent circuit, not UIFL, not to take anything from them. If you want to be ranked on UIFL, cool, no problem. Just on the other brackets, being nationally ranked and wanting those kind of recognition. That's what I'm speaking of. I'm not taking anything from what anybody's doing in the state of New York at all.
But the thing is, Jay, you got to see this. Do your guys push your national agenda? You push your national agenda and you make everybody feel like, oh, if you're not on our national agenda, you're no one. And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, come on now. It's all the same thing. It's all the same thing when you line up.
Okay, so I'm asking you a question. So let me ask you another question, right? So, the team, let's talk about it. The 12U team that everybody's been talking about earlier, right? Is in where? Where they going right now?
What 12U team? What 12U team?
The 12U everybody's talking about, the Hurricanes, and that's what you're insinuating right now.
No, I'm saying no, Jay. Jay, let's leave Jay. Let's leave teams out. Jay, let's leave teams out. We talking about league organizations. You push your national agenda, and you don't play other teams because you think it's beneath you, and you do that. And I'm saying your guys play the same football. D2.
But you never come to Florida, so you don't even want to.
Jay, you want me to repeat it? You want me to repeat it, Jay? You want me to repeat it again? Jay, you're doing the same thing now, Jay. You're doing the same thing. National, I'm not putting it down, but that's not the only ball. National is not only. It's not the only ball. You got other.
No, but at the end of the day, that like we said in the beginning, that's what some people want. And if that's what you want, that's what you want.
Yeah, but it's.
Period.
The thing is that it's other ball out there.
I'm asking a question. Nobody's answering my
All right, what was your question?
Did the Staten Island Hurricanes 12U win your tournament?
What?
Yes, they did.
Huh?
Yes, they did.
Okay. Was the Staten Island Hurricanes 10U in the championship in your tournament?
Yes, they were.
Okay. Now let me ask you another question, right? Y'all made a statement that nobody wanted to play the Bowie Broncos in New York, right?
Yeah, you didn't. And nobody represented.
Bowie Broncos twice.
Well, what happened to the Staten Island non-U? Why didn't they come out and play the Bowie Broncos?
Because the Staten Island non-U, we didn't have a non-U at the time. What are you talking about? We only had 13 kids on our non-U team.
Jay, I gotta go, brother. Thank you for calling, man. I appreciate it.
Why you gotta go? I'm talking now.
Because I gotta go. I got other callers.
But you want to know stuff, and I'm telling you stuff.
Yeah, but you answer the question.
But you're not answering my question.
You answer the question. You answer the question.
Okay, before I go.
Okay.
Right? So my point is saying is the Brooklyn Chiefs played the Bowie Broncos on non-U 2 games. The first game, the Brooklyn Chiefs got blown out, and then Ralphie's tournament, Bowie Broncos only beat the Brooklyn Chiefs 18-0. Am I correct, Ralphie?
You're correct.
And then they scored a whole point in the whole second half of the game. They scored 18 points in the first half, and they scored in the second half of the game. Am I lying, Ralphie?
Not at all.
Okay, so when people say that New York City is scared of teams, that's not the case, man. Don't make it seem like people
don't put the Brook.
No.
Don't put
that is not what's being said. That is not what I'm saying. What we're saying is you can't just just for that. You can't just play in one tournament and then consider yourself the best. You just can't do it. There's no logic behind it.
No, Jay, we talking about.
I'm not taking anything from the teams that came to the tournament at all. You won. You competed hands down. You did your part at that event. Like I'm not taking anything from those teams.
Yeah, this is one team, Jay. Jay, this is one team, Jay.
And then at the end of the day, I'm speaking of the state. I'm not talking about a league. I'm not talking about a team. I'm talking about a state.
Listen, the reason why Jay calling, they got that agenda. They got an agenda. We know what their agenda is. They want to play. Jay. Your guys got an agenda, man, and your dude. Jay, your guys got an agenda. Come on.
There's no agenda. You're talking about stuff that you don't know about. So
okay, all right. I know what I see. I've been in those circles, bro.
So what's our agenda?
I've been in those circles. I'm not gonna listen. I'm not gonna debate about that. You know, you gotta look in. You gotta listen, Jay.
Hold on. Can I say something? When I speak about nationals, I speak about nationals that I've experienced, the competition that I've experienced in the 5 years that I've been to different national championships. I've never been to UYFL. I've never been to AYF, Pop Warner, none of that.
I gotta get to
I've been to Generation Next, D1 Nation. Those are the national championships that the teams that I've been a part of competed against.
Yeah. Jay, you had somebody call when you called up with the Riot Squad. You had specifically said who is Workman Elite and who they play.
I did say that.
You did. You did. And that question is the same question we asking. The same question we asking, and you come with this national agenda, and it's not right.
Okay.
It's not right, Jay. Come on.
Let's talk about it.
It's Jay.
I talked about, the not talking about
Jay, Jay, I got mad respect for you calling up. You're the wrong person to talk about this with. Honestly. It's the people that don't answer the phone. You answer your phone, you call up, and I respect you as a man. But it's those other people that will never call this show. They'll never call this show, and they will never call this show and talk about this for real. They're the ones that'll never do it.
I'm listening to your show.
Yes.
But I was on the field today when these kids played their fucking hearts out.
Don't do that, Jay. Please don't mention the kids. Has nothing to do with the kids. We're not here to put down kids. I don't like when y'all do that.
Like I said,
it's nothing to do with kids. Nothing to do with kids.
I would take New York versus anybody. And if anybody around from your tournament next year, tell whoever you want to come down here and they come get the smoke. And that's just that.
All right, Jay.
And like I said, I always put that out there. I always try to get, because I know a lot of these nationally top-ranked teams. I'm sure anybody can get in touch with them. But the hardest thing to get them to come to New York, when we say things like we're playing weighted football, we have weighted national championships, we're just getting unweighted. That's the hardest thing for these people that's been doing unweighted for all these years, playing in these big national tournaments, to want to come to New York to play anybody.
Yeah, I talked to. Yeah, Jay.
And another thing too, with your comment about the New York versus everybody. It is New York versus everybody when we're in Florida, because everybody from New York is on each other's sideline, telling each other out. They're trying to win the game.
Jay, they don't. Jay, to them to say, you to say New York versus everybody, Jay. That everybody got a kid. That everybody got to be threatened. That everybody's not threatened about New York football. Come on, let's keep it real. They not. Yeah, they're not threatened. They you know.
If you go out here right now, they were talking about New York City right now. Because they're holding it down out here. You have 3 teams or 4 teams in a
but I'm saying we're not taking away, and I bigged them up. We're not taking anything away from the Riot Squad. We're not taking anything away from 12U. Well, listen, we're not taking anything away from the 12U Hurricanes. But we're gonna say the scores of everybody else, and it's a big difference. It's a big difference. We're going to say the scores about everybody else, and it's a big difference. So I'm talking about average. I'm talking about numbers. I know we can't change the whole New York football, but we got to get large numbers on the other side, not these low numbers. We talking about these low numbers. We want to talk about all divisions. Damn, man, that was a good game, national tournament on a 9, 8, 10, 11. You know what I'm saying? That's what we want to do. That's what we want to change. That's what we're trying to change.
You know the Brooklyn Chiefs 9U and 10U was in the semifinals to go to the
Yes. And this is their first year with Big Apple.
Yes.
They came out of the ashes of Empire. They did work in Big Apple.
Yes, as they should do.
Yes.
As they should do.
Yes. And hats off to them. Hats off to them.
The Riot Squad is out here whipping everybody. Everybody that lines up for them, they are physically manhandling them.
I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. You had mentioned it one time. That D1 and D2. Maybe you was talking about college. Maybe that was a college thing. About D1, D2 don't mean anything. Like, how do you feel about D1, D2? How do you feel about youth ball D1, D2? Which one we should be really be happy with? The D1 Riot Squad at 14U or the D2 Hurricanes? Which one we should be really standing up and liking? No, we can like both of them and support both of them. Which one is the one we really rally behind?
You should be rallying behind New York. Who are you talking about? Which one you should be rallying behind? By the way, do you know the 12U Hurricane team is the smallest team in the Division II bracket? They're the smallest team.
Let's leave out who's there. I'm just telling you, a D1 team coming out of New York City, is that not the top team? Yes or no?
What do you mean the top? Everybody's in the same bracket. What are you talking about?
So you saying the D1? Because I got a call. I called up someone. I asked them because they don't have a number next to them. I said, "Is that a D1 14U?" He said, "Yes."
Okay, now let me ask you a question. How many teams in the 14U bracket?
Jay, I gotta go, man. I really do, man. Thank you for calling, man. Jay, we not gonna be able to come to common grounds. You know why? Because you keep moving, you keep shifting the situation. If D1 is to be respected, if D1 is respected in New York City, why not what Riot Squad is doing? Why that's not like the whole New York standing up for Riot Squad?
What are you talking about, the whole New York? Everybody from New York is at their teams. What are you talking about?
All right, man.
What are you talking about?
Forget it, Jay. I gotta go, Jay. I gotta go, bro. Thanks for calling, though. Thanks for calling. Let's go to break. We're gonna go to break and come back with the same discussion. Call lines is open 347-776-7070. 347-776-7070. Call up. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay, for that call. You know, and we appreciate his candor and his honesty. You know, all right. All right, Ralph. We'll be right back. Whoop, whoop.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to my Kingdom listeners. You're listening to Cynthia Boone. They call me the Queen of Cars. I am the CEO of Kingdom Cars Unlimited, where you will get a Kingdom experience, not a dealership one. We can get you any make or model, new or used. Don't worry about your credit. If it's bad, we don't talk bad. We say trouble, because trouble don't last always. Call us at 917-309-0233. That number again is 917-309-0233. Also, at Kingdom Cars Unlimited, you'll never walk onto a dealer's lot. We deliver your car to the door so you can drive and go forward.
Advertise with us at NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show. We offer your business to get in on the ground floor of a fast-moving podcast world. Advertise your products, your services, your events, your fundraisers, games, and tournaments with us with a video or voice ad on our show. For more info, call us at 347-776-7070. That's 347-776-7070, or on our new website at nycussports.org. That's nycussports.org, or email us at nycussportspodcastshow@gmail.com. That's nycussportspodcastshow@gmail.com. Fundraising is the key to accumulate resources to help kids in youth sports. We at the Podcast Show NYC Youth Sports, a nonprofit 501c, dedicate our time and resources to take on this task. With your help, we can raise funds to invest in events, games, the Podcast Show, in return create sponsorships, school grants for future athletes, sports equipment, apparel and travel, and so much more. There's 3 ways you can help us. With a $25 donation, we partner up with Amazon that we have our podcast t-shirts on their site. 2, you can cash up us a donation any size that would be appreciative. Is at NYC Youth Sports Cash App, or 347-776-7070. That's 347-776-7070. And this is the last thing. And if you can't do number 1 and you can never do number 2, please do this. Go to our YouTube page and subscribe and leave a comment. That's all we ask, these 3 things, and you'll be helping our show tremendously for us to help kids. Okay, so these 3 things, and leave your comments, call our hotline, and view us every Wednesday, 8 o'clock on YouTube, Facebook group, and all the other media sites. Thank you for listening. We're back, NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show. Thanks Jay, man. That was a very good call, man, and we appreciate you calling in. And just like I said, the people that's supposed to call in, they never gonna call in because they don't want to debate online. It's what it is. And that's what it is. But the thing is that, Ralph, you there?
Yes, sir.
So I got some things on how to fix it. You know, I want to say that. You know, this is my opinion on how they should fix it. You know, how we fix New York City football leagues. We got some couple of categories. Leagues must be open to crossover games and crossover championships. The teams need to know. The teams need to play at least 10 or more games a year. The average games you play in your league is like 6, 7, games. They need to play more games and utilize the bye to play a crossover. The leagues gotta work together. The league business is only their season, playoffs, and Super Bowl. This is why I don't really have a lot of confidence when leagues tie themselves to organizations, because they got an agenda. The organization agenda suits the league. And they're not supposed to be that. The league is supposed to be an independent vessel. Just host games, playoffs and Super Bowls and nationals or regionals. That's it. So when you have those cross things, we all fall underneath the banner of youth football. So when we have those cross things on our off days or whatever, and figure out how we can do the coin and everything, because it is a financial thing in it, let's figure it out. But now you got the top playing the top. And now we got some kind of sense on what teams need to go to their nationals and root for.
And that's more so how it is on everywhere else.
Yes.
I know all independent, basically the games, the crossover games are handled by independent entities. They have nothing to do with the league at all. They're hosting independent games, and if you want to play, say this is just an example, nobody come after me just saying these two teams. If the Staten Island Hurricanes wants to play BU, UYFL, and Under the Lights and Big Apple have nothing to do with that game.
Exactly. It doesn't
give them the blessing to say, go ahead, y'all can play each other. We don't care.
Yeah. The deal is that we have to put the business. I said it last year. I said last week, we have to put the business aside of youth sports. The business aside of youth sports. Because the game and the kids is worth more. So let's put that business aside against leagues and this. You're all going to have to at the end of the season. You all gotta go shop and get teams. Every last one of them. And there's going to be one league that's going to have all the bangers, and there's going to be one league that's not going to have all the bangers.
But how do you consider them bangers if they only play?
But I'm saying, the top what they consider the top orgs. There's top orgs. They got more in one division and all that, and they come with everything, and this like that. So that's got to be open to organizations. They got to make a choice of what they got to make a choice of what league has the competition teams. Which league have all the bangers, all the competition? They feel join that league.
Not even more so. You don't have to join any league. Yeah. Basically, you don't have to join the league because they got all the bangers. Stay where you are. Build up your league.
This is what I'm saying though. No, this is what I'm saying, to be neutral. To be neutral, because they all shop for different teams. Everybody, because the teams like all the teams that played in Big Apple is not guaranteed they're coming back. They have to reshop anyway. And they gotta bring in new teams. And the leagues out there, they still gotta shop. They got their core teams that they can go to, core orgs they can go to, but they still shopping for other teams. So if the organization makes a choice and say, I need to get my organization competitive, I have to join the leagues that's competitive.
You have to join the leagues that's going to allow you to be competitive.
Well, listen. You're not joining for free. You paying a fee to join. So nobody's gonna say no. You can't go. You got the fee. Let's go. You on our joint. Like that. So what I'm saying. And to make it's gotta. You're not gonna get better playing weak teams. You're not gonna get better. this season, oh, damn, we ran through this team. Damn, we got to step up our game. Let's go over here. No one's, how you going to get better playing weak teams? You're not going to get better. Teams got to travel, to be the best. Go out there and see. You're not going to know. You got to understand, in order to be competitive, in order to win, you got to lose. You got to see what you have. You got to see what you have. You can't just stay on your heel and say, oh, I'm this, I'm that. I'm a national team, so who are you? Though they don't want to play, they don't want to smoke or whatever. Nah, that's all Del's talking. Kids don't care. They line up and play. Coaches, we must get ourselves knowledgeable. Coaches, including me, must get ourselves knowledgeable and mentally ready to realistically evaluate on what we can do and what we can't do. I'm going to say that again because that's a lot of big words for Uncle Mel. We as coaches ourselves must get knowledgeable to evaluate on what we got and what we can do. Plain simple, realistically. Oh, this guy, man, half of my team can't even do 2 laps. How are we going to play 2 games? We don't get a full practice. How are we going to go out of state? We only got 3 studs and then everybody else is average. Our football team is not fundamentally sound. These kids can't even get in the stance. I've seen it. I've been on them teams. How do you putting that together and say we're going to be good? Are you realistically looking at this? You're not going to play 2 and 3 games in a week when you can't even play 1 game. Come on, be realistically evaluating what you got, what you can do. Parents, they have the big investment, parents. And I'm going to say this. Parents, because they're kids. So, they don't, I'm going to say it strictly, listen, this is how Uncle Milk feels. Don't think because you have a financially invested, like you financially invested, because you're financially invested with travel, with registrations and this and that. You're financially invested in your kid and the team. That you don't have a responsibility to get your kid ready to compete. You have a big responsibility. And I'm going to tell you, your kid is an athlete. They must eat right. They must keep their bodies in tune and in shape. Do not allow them to sit around and be lazy. You don't need a personal trainer or anything. Calisthenics. If you see they can't do 10 push-ups in a practice, work on that. Turn that game off. We both doing it. We going to get you ready so you can do 50 push-ups. So the coach ain't got to be waiting till he can be concentrating on coaching football, not getting you in shape. Parents, we only got a 2-hour practice 2 or 3 times a week. You got the kids sitting there. Don't allow them to sit there to be lazy. Work on things, work on this calisthenics. That's what you can do. Let's go to the park. We're going to run. Nah, you stop running. You're going to do these 2 laps till you get it right. Don't stop. I hear the coach saying, why are you stopping? Because you're not working on it every day. They're an athlete. They must tune their body. They must eat right. Don't feed them garbage. Get them right so they can come to practice. And the coach can really coach on fundamentals and how to play this game physically and mentally. And that's how you change New York football. That's how you change it.
And that's for the teams that want to do that.
Everybody should want to do that.
Isn't for you. You're right, but some people don't. Some people like and are okay with what's been going on, and not taking anything from you. If that's what you like, that's what you like.
But remember, Uncle Milk say everybody got to play in this. Everybody got to play in this. Not just We're not putting the blame on everybody. League, organization, coaches, and parents. Realistically, you got to evaluate the team. You go down there and, oh, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Let's go over the scores for this weekend. Let's go over the scores. You know, we're gonna do that last. Let's start D2. We're gonna do that last. What was the first D2 team? 8U D2. Right? The first game. I gotta get my glasses right. The first game, right, was Monday. Albany Seahawks beat the Brooklyn Chiefs 33-6. 33-6. First round. First round. 33-6. D2. We had a win here. Brooklyn Chiefs beat it's the Beach Pride. What's that? 14-0? 9U D2 9U. We didn't have this last year. We tried to do this. We was waiting for people to call us in the scores, and we never got calls.
Yeah, the Beach Pride.
Beach Pride. Now I'm doing my homework now. Remember that show, Joe?
Yeah.
They called us up and y'all embarrassed us. You're crazy. You know what I'm saying? I got a call from a co-host. Oh, y'all making me look bad. We was waiting for you to make the call to let us know what's going on. But not this year. Uncle Milt doing his homework. We doing our homework, man. Podcast show got to get it right. Anybody disagreeing? Call us up. 347-776-7070. Again, 347-776-7070. 10U, D2, 10U. First game. Brooklyn Chiefs. I ain't got my glasses. Is that 13-0?
13-0 from the Sting Academy Hornets.
Yes, nice win. They went to the next bracket. It was Wednesday. They had a game on Monday. They played Wednesday. Brooklyn Chiefs. There wasn't Mountain. They lost 13-6.
Something like that, 13-6.
Yeah. It's the two games. This is Monday game and Wednesday game. This was a disappointment, man. I bet my rent money on Staten Island Hurricanes at 11U, man. I bet my rent money, man. I swear I thought this team was the best in New York. I see this team play with my own eyes, man. I said, this team, oh my gosh, there's nobody beating this team. I was very, 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 very disappointed. I was surprised that they didn't score a lot. Juliet Raiders, 25-6, first game. And I was really shocked. I was like, damn, man. I bet my rent money that these guys was going to do something in Nationals. They ran through Empire. I mean, Big Apple. I'm sorry, Big Apple. And I said, man, ain't nobody beating this team, man. Yeah, but hey, it happens, man. When you
it's the game of football, man. Somebody gotta win, somebody gotta lose.
You gotta win 3 to 4 games, man, to come home with the prize, man. But it ain't had that. 12U. This was the misunderstood team, even though they lost the Super Bowl to a very close, game with PST. They
and I was rooting for Staten Island Hurricanes since they won the D1 national game. I said they're going to win Big Apple. I said that every week doing the rankings, everything. I said Staten Island Hurricanes will win Big Apple, and I ate my words at the Big Apple national championship. At the Big Apple Super Bowl.
One of my inner circle guys called and said, "Yo, Milt, man, that PSC game, even though they lost it, it was something different. It's one of them games." And I was listening to him, me being stubborn. I'm like, don't take nothing away from PST. They did what they did. But I got to say, man, this Staten Island Hurricane 12U, Uncle Milt starting to look at you. your guys are doing the work. You're putting in the work, man. And you know, they first game was with the Mo Cowboys. They put up a donut. What is that score? Is that 20-0? Ralph, you gotta help me. I don't want to put my glasses on the air, man. I can't see this. And
Hurricanes. Game 1 was the Wild Down Boys.
Yeah.
They won 7-6.
Yeah.
The second game, the MOT Cowboys, they won 19-0.
Mm-hmm.
And then today, Wednesday.
They are in the chip. I just got the email from Mr. Magic. Mr. Robinson just sent us the email. Wait a minute. He just told me that they in the chip. I don't got the score. I got the Riot scores.
They won the Staten Island Hurricanes 12. You won 31-13.
All right. Wow, that was a blowout. 31-13, man. Wow, they did their thing. They starting to turn heads, man. It's I thought the 11U was the team, man, and you know I could be wrong. You know,
in my opinion, that team should have been D1 anyway.
Yeah, man, they looking like they should have been D1, man. But we'll see next year. We're gonna be looking next year. You know who's gonna be D1. You know, we're gonna shoot to the 13U, D2, 13U, Brooklyn Renegades 6. And Beach Pride 12, man. You know, it's like I said. You come and you know that was a tough loss for the Brooklyn Renegades, man. They went out and they did it, and it was just a tough loss. We're not here to take away anything from the kids. We are saying that is a road to get where you want to get, and are we doing it? Are we doing it? And that's it. And that's a question that, you know, people need to ask and we need to know and get an understanding or from it. And, you know, that's it. All-Star, you want to talk about the All-Stars? You want to talk about the All-Stars?
You want to?
Yeah, let's do it.
We got the 7U.
Big Apple All-Stars. First game, the NC Giants. They won 6-0.
They won against the NC Giants 6-0.
Then they played Tuesday.
They played the Cougars and lost 32-0.
Oh, God damn, the Cougars put it on them.
Yeah.
Wow, 32-0. Well, it's like I said, man, you know. And then you got
we got Workday that went down there.
Workday coach, shout out.
Shout
out to Coach Ock. Shout out to Coach Ock. It seems to be, you know, some discrepancies. I talked to Mr. Magic, you know, and he don't want me to call him Mr. Robinson, but I'm gonna call him Mr. Magic. And maybe y'all guys are too old to remember Mr. Magic with the Juice Crew. Mr. Magic, pow. Yo, he called today and he promised to call back to explain the emails and things like that. But we're gonna wait till you call in, and it seems. I've read them, and you know it's kind of hilarious though, but it's what it is, you know. Workmen, you know, they went out,
and with that, you know, not knowing exactly what happened, just basing it off of what was posted, the screenshots of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
That was a terrible way to display yourself as a national league. For UYFL to say something like, to say that if you would have came down with Big Apple, that things would have been different.
Yeah.
That's a terrible thing, because that's taken away from the kids. That's taken away from the hard work that everybody put in to come down there. Just because they're not a part of a certain league, they get treated a certain way. That's just a slap in the face to Lennox and all his coaching staff and his parents and all the hard work they're doing over there.
Yeah, you know, and they said, you know, from Mr. Ralph Draper, D1 Podcast, you said it, and our views here at the NYC Podcast Show is that, you know, we want to get the truth. I talked to Mr. Magic. I mean, I hope he calls in because he has the other side of it, and you know, once we get that, we're going to determine what the deal is. So I understand that when you said that, it seems to be you know, you should have, did this, and we'd have probably got that. That's how you're looking at it.
Because with social media nowadays,
Yeah.
anything could be interpreted the wrong way. So you have to be very careful what you type
Yeah.
and what you put out there because it can be taken the wrong way.
Yeah.
And that comment to me was, I could be taking it the wrong way because I didn't speak to the guy. But based off of that, that was a slap in the face to Lennox and them for their hard work.
Well, I talked to him and he promised to call in, and we, you can question him when he called in, but I talked to him about it, and let's see if he calls in. I appreciate it if he can call in and get the message out there to Mr. Robinson, aka Mr. Magic. We like to hear your views on the air about it, and we're gonna move on.
But hats off to Lennox though
Yes.
for even signing up in the All-Star bracket.
Exactly.
With a regular team that you play with throughout the year. Not an All-Star team. This is the team that you played with throughout the year in your league. And you went out there and signed up in the All-Star bracket. Hats off to you for that.
And I talked to Coach Ock, and he realized that in order to get where we got to go, you got to travel that road. So he went down there and he said, guys, we got to go to Nationals. We got to go to Nationals to see what we can do. Steel, strength, and steel. So they went and they did their thing, and now they understand that, what they got to do when they come back next year. So
and even with that, it's more so with me. I don't know how Milt you feel about it, but more so with me, it's not always about the amount of games you win if you're competing.
Yeah.
Because like I said it in the beginning, the grade A league out of Buffalo, they went out there to the Generation Next National Championship. They lost the first round, but they competed. But they competed, and that's all I've been saying from day one. It's all about competing. You don't have to win everything.
Well,
nobody wins everything.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. We just wanted to be. We wanted to be competitive. We wanted to be competitive all the way around, not just one or two teams saying they this and saying they that. We want to see who's who. The deal is this: with anything, when you're growing in life, if you're doing one thing every year and you coming out with the same results, you got to go, wait a minute. We got to do something different. That's it. We got to do something different. Don't take offense because that's you doing it. You're doing it. And you trying to do something. No one's saying the first year you got to do something different when you fail. But if you fail years and years, you got to go, okay, we got to do something different, man. So I mean, I understand,
and that takes the coaches at the end of the day.
And that's
like I said, the
that's
coaches
not
will play where they put them.
That's not only nationals, that's regionals and tournaments. Any team that leaves New York, that's the question I say. Any team that leaves New York, are they competing? Are they ready to compete? That's it. Of a whole, I ain't talking about 1 and 2. Don't defend 1 and 2. Nah, it's us, man.
At the end of the day, my coach has always said, shout out to Coach Joe Vito, Roosevelt High School, inducted it into the New York State High School Hall of Fame. He always said, he always told us, he always pitched to us, second place is the first loser, period. And I've been riding that. I implement that into my kids every day for everything that they do.
And we get ready to go to the break, but the last thing is the All-Stars at 15U. They had a bye the first weekday, which was Sunday's game was played on Monday, and they didn't do too well, man. They lost to the circuit, the Oxford Circuit Raiders. What was the score? 23-0. 23-0. So shout out to Coach. Shout out to Coach High. That team went down, and they wasn't successful in their first game. So that's it. We're going to come back from the break and talk about the D1 Riot Squad.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to my Kingdom listeners. You're listening to Cynthia Boone. They call me the Queen of Cars. I am the CEO of Kingdom Cars Unlimited, where you will get a Kingdom experience, not a dealership one. We can get you any make or model, new or used. Don't worry about your credit. If it's bad, we don't talk bad. We say trouble, because trouble don't last always. Call us at 917-309-0233. That number again is 917-309-0233. Also, at Kingdom Cars Unlimited, you'll never walk onto a dealer's lot. We deliver your car to the door so you can drive and go forward.
Advertise with us at NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show. We offer your business to get in on the ground floor of a fast-moving podcast world. Advertise your products, your services, your events, your fundraisers, games, and tournaments with us with a video or voice ad on our show. For more info, call us at 347-776-7070. That's 347-776-7070, or on our new website at nycUsports.org. That's nycUsports.org, or email us at nycUsportspodcastshow@gmail.com. That's nycUsportspodcastshow@gmail.com. Fundraising is the key to accumulate resources to help kids in youth sports. We at the Podcast Show NYC Youth Sports, a nonprofit 501c, dedicate our time and resources to take on this task. With your help, we can raise funds to invest in events, games. The Podcast Show, in return, creates sponsorships, school grants for future athletes, sports equipment, apparel and travel, and so much more. There's 3 ways you can help us. With a $25 donation, we partner up with Amazon that we have our podcast t-shirts on their site. 2, you can cash up us a donation any size. It would be appreciative. Is at NYC Youth Sports Cash App or 347-776-7070. That's 347-776-7070. And this is the last thing. And if you can't do number 1 and you can never do number 2, please do this. Go to our YouTube page and subscribe and leave a comment. That's all we ask, these 3 things, and you'll be helping our show tremendously for us to help kids. Okay? So these 3 things, and leave your comments, call our hotline, and view us every Wednesday, 8 o'clock on YouTube, Facebook group, and all the other media sites. Thank you for listening. NYC, we back. The Podcast Show, NYC Youth Sports. Yeah, man. So, that's like I left, man. This team, you know what I'm saying, even though they have their little issues, they have their little turmoils and everything. The Riot Squad, D1 represent New York. 14U, shout out to Coach Carl, Coach Loso, Coach Brown, and the other coaches. Uncle Milk forgot your name, but they doing their thing. They just won to go into the chip underneath D1, and the 14U. They I think it was a 13-0, and let's start them off with that journey, man. The first game. Help me out, Ralph, because my glasses, man. They play the East Side. They play the East Side.
East Side Colts.
Colts 20-0.
And then 20-0. That was an easy game.
And then I knew this Kent County from 301. They was something. This Kent County 14U, and it was tough the whole game. And at the last minute, the pick 6 to the house. Walked away with the win. Riot Squad and they throwing their little parties over there. I see them throwing their little parties on the. I was like,
it's hard to be in Florida, man, and not want to throw a party after a victory.
Easy. I said they didn't answer me back. I said, yo, is y'all live? Is that a party? Y'all supposed to be. You're supposed to be. Congratulations, Coach Carl. I texted them. I said 2 down, man, 2 to go, and. We come on the air, and Mr. Magic texts me the 13-0, man. They in the shit. Representing New York at D1. D1. We got to stand that up. And Mr. Magic made it clear because there was no number next to them. And Mr. Magic was saying, it's division. I said, no, I'm going to ask you a direct question. I want a direct answer. Is that D1? He said yes. So let's give it up. Even though the number is not next to it, is D1 according to Mr. Magic. Is a D1 division, and the whole New York is standing up for the Riot Squad. At least the podcast show is standing up for the Riot Squad. They play on Friday. Tune in. They got the live link. What do you call that? That link. Everybody buys into the link, and let's root. Let them bring that trophy back to New York City, and stand up Riot Squad. Stand up
Riot Squad. Congratulations.
Stand up Brooklyn. Listen, man. Stand up Brooklyn Saints. Stand up Brooklyn Saints. Right? They took a shot and they did what they did and made the Riot Squad irrelevant. And Carl knows what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? This year to play. So let's keep it real. Brooklyn Saints, stand up. Riot Squad, stand up. They represent New York in the D1 division. Let's all get behind them. And we want them to bring the trophy back. You know what I'm saying? And we want to bring the trophy back, man. Them kids is, they working out. They working hard. Me and Carl talked off the air. I said, Carl, you got to win 3 to 4 games and shock the world. And that's it. That's it. That's all you got to do. One more down. One down and all the dollars and all the people, It's this. You'll shock the world. And, I'm very happy for them kids, man, that they went this far, yo. They went this far, Celebrate, but go get some sleep. Go get some rest. Y'all played 3 games this week. Tough games.
Good. They don't got to play again until Friday, though. So
but still,
like this.
Don't party too much. Still rest.
Not too much. You got to cut it off about 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I think they game at coming be out. What time? 5:15.
5:15 on
Friday, and
against the Oxford City Raiders.
And we working out a show. 8 o'clock Friday. If this work out, we gonna come in and we gonna do a show with the Riot Squad. With the Riot Squad, helping them celebrate. We gonna do a special show about the Riot Squad and hope we can get them on the Skype and we talk to the kids and things and everything, the parents, and you blow up the phone lines and give them all the accolades. All right? So that's it, man. But the next thing I want to talk about, man, this video, man. This video, I can't believe it. This video that hit Facebook with this coach.
That video went crazy. It's on World Star. I mean, that's how big it got.
Wow. Listen, man, I coached before. And, the excitement of the game. And when you coaching, and I'm not condoning what he did, but we all tap helmets. And the way he tapped this player's helmet was uncalled for. And I know he's regretting it right now. The kids are sad. And it's the way this social media is made up that it's being, put out there like that. And we got some clips. We're gonna go to the clip, and then we're gonna go to the apology. So we show them all the way around, and we want you to call in, and I want to talk to coaches, because we got to get this together. We got to get it right. We got to get it right when it comes to these kids. So we're gonna play the clip, and I'll be right back. And we're gonna talk about it. All right.
Oh, look at him. Look at him. Whoa. Oh. What the hell? Wow. What the? Hey, this is going viral. What the hell?
Everybody done seen the video, and everyone have something negative to say. I'm gonna apologize for my actions about what took place. But at the end of the day, I am a man, and I'm not gonna make no excuses for what I did. I was wrong. I shouldn't have disciplined him in public. I should have waited till we got back for doing what he did. At the end of the day, I apologize to him, the kids, the city down here, and my family back at home. I do apologize. There's no excuse for my actions. I hope, he forgave me, and his parents have forgiven me. So nobody else should be bashing me. Thank you.
347. We back. All right, listen, call in the podcast number 347-776-7070. The podcast number 347-776-7070. Listen, man, that right there was the worst thing that a coach can do to a kid, you know. And we're not gonna harp on it because the coach came back and he apologized, and I feel that his apology was genuine and accepted. But we got to understand we got to respect what we do as coaches. I mean, the coaches that know better, and we have to take youth football coaches serious. Like, it's got to be some type of training, some type of qualification, certification that you got to really take serious. You just can't take a coach because he brought you a good running back, a dad, or whatever, and make him a coach. You can't take a coach. Has to understand it's a thin line. And prepare.
You got parents, they're trusting you with their kids.
Yes, it's a thin line. I mean, because I took coaching courses. I go to Jersey to Glazier clinics and coach. AYF got a coach thing that you take, and they tell you never to put your hands on a kid. You're not even supposed to correct them at all.
If you need training to tell you not to put your hands on a kid, you shouldn't be coaching.
No, and they got a policy that you must understand the kid come from different environments. The kid come from different environments. He may come from an environment that's abusing him. And we even got to watch the way we talk to them. So, we're not saying that you should treat, but if you understand how to coach and you taught how to coach and you learn how to coach, you would know what Uncle Milt's talking about right now. Because mistakes happen. So whatever that kid did, we didn't see what he did. Whatever that kid did, he did not deserve to be slapped in the helmet that hard twice. If he's being taught fundamentals. This is why fundamentals is key in youth football. Is key. We said it earlier. Is coaches evaluating realistically on what they can do or what they can't do. That's looking at the team. You want to run a spread and you don't got the team for that, you can't run spread. If you can't do what you don't want to do if you don't got the personnel. So you're trying to do something and the kids ain't, realistically you're not looking at it, and then you get frustrated. You get frustrated because you're trying to push your agenda and it's not working. So you can tell that coach was frustrated. We got a call coming in. NYC Youth Sports, can I help you?
Yeah, I'm calling about that incident.
Yes. Can you tell me who you is, sir?
Well, my name is Pal, and I'm an educator, and I work with kids in youth sports.
All right. Thank you for watching. And what's your comment, sir?
Well, just viewing that, it doesn't look like this is the first time that happened. Just so happened, he was on camera when it happened. Mm-hmm. And usually what individuals do with what was done to them. So maybe when he was coming up, he thought that happened to him, and he thought it was the right thing to do.
Exactly.
And I think it goes back to what you said. A lot of these coaches need to get more knowledge in coaching and dealing with youth.
Exactly. We take courses, and we go every year to get more knowledgeable to clinics. And in the clinics in Glazier, I know Glazier because I go. They got stuff like that too, how to deal the psyche of athlete. So if the organization is not pushing that agenda, you get things like this. You get things like this.
And going back to your question earlier, I think it's coaching that's going to help New York get more competitive in this football thing.
Okay.
I think it starts from at a young age. You know, you can't wait till they like 9, 10. You know, it starts at that like 6-year-old age where they need to get fundamentally sound, learning how to block, tackle properly, and coaches taking clinics and going to clinics. And that's what I think would make an organization help them get nationally ranked.
You think that's over than conditioning?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Do you think that if you put them at different numbers, so coaching is one, what do you rank conditioning?
Tradition has a lot to do with it. It's all not on coaching.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it has something to do with the parents also and how bad the kid wants it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, but you need a solid background, a foundation. So, and that starts with the coaching. If the coaching isn't strong in coaching and teaching the kids, like, how could your organization become top if you have, like, no knowledgeable coaches, you know? So
I think I look at it like this. Like when you go to the military, you go through your basic training. That's first. Camp opens up without a football. It's basic training, right? Before they even give you a rifle, before they even teach you how to shoot or teach you how to kill somebody, they do what? Get you in shape. They get you in shape. You go through a basic training. And the basic training, it can't be with a football. I see some camps opens up with a football. It can't be with a football. It's about.
I definitely agree.
It's about, hey guys, what are we trying to get this team to average? We got 18 kids, 20 kids. How many kids we should have in shape before we move on to a football?
20 kids, if that's your roster size.
Exactly. NPRs, the new kids, they may not know how to get in the stance of them, but they should know how to be in shape. There's no qualification on how to be in shape. Man, you're not in shape. If you're not in shape, there's no way you can play 2-3 games a week. That's one. Because I used to coach, and I see it. I see it. If you're not, you know. But thank you for your comment, Coach.
Can I ask a follow-up question before you leave?
Yeah, go ahead.
What did he say his name was?
Hold on a second, Rob. Hold on. Go ahead. Hello? Sir?
hello?
Go ahead, Ralph.
All right, question. What's your take on D1, D2 football?
Well, I don't really have a background in all of that D1, D2, and all that football, whatever. So I really have no say on that, you know. But I heard you mention Coach Vito. You Roosevelt alumni?
Correct. Born and raised in Roosevelt.
All right. Cool. I played my last 3 years of high school over there, 96 basketball championships.
All right.
Thank you for your call. Thank you for your call, sir. I want to ask you hit that subscribe button on the way out. Leave your comments and please call again. We appreciate your call.
All right, thank you.
Podcast show. Can I help you?
What up? It's Coach Greg. What up, Uncle Milt? What up, Ralphie? What's going on?
What up, Greg?
Was it Coach Greg?
The great principal from the Long Island Renegades.
Oh, right. How you doing, Coach?
Not bad.
Yeah. How you doing, sir? You got something to add on?
Yeah. So I was listening to the podcast and everybody talking about the coach that did the unspeakable and put his hands on a child physically, very, very forcefully. And I just want to let it be known because you guys were getting into, you know, the psychology of it and the frustration of the coach. But I want everybody out there to understand then none of that matters. What he was thinking, none of that matters. At the end of the day, what he did was unspeakable, was irreprehensible, and needs to be punished not only by whatever league, whoever he's affiliated with, but it also needs to be punishable by law. And something like this should never happen. And if this were any one of my kids, or if it were any one of my kids that I coach, or any of my opponents, even if that were my opponents across the sideline, okay, it would be my responsibility and my coaching staff's responsibility. It would be everyone in the stands' responsibility as adults to respond and react and protect that child.
Yes. I want to ask you a question. Do you think that this was the first time this happened?
No, I agree with everyone saying that this was clearly not the first time.
So
I also agree with everyone saying that this is an issue that is deeply rooted in this man that has not been resolved in his past. But I don't really care about any of that because it should have never gotten to that.
Exactly. How did it get this far?
If you have stuff like that inside of you, you should not be dealing with other people's kids.
Yeah, but how did it get this far?
Exactly.
I mean, this guy felt.
That brings us to the question of what are we doing? This is a good teaching point for all of us. As organizations, we need to do more to vet the coaches.
This is what my point was. Like, I made it sugarcoated a little bit that you just can't pull a dad out the stands because he brings that running back or that quarterback and make him a coach. It don't work that way. It doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It's a process. It's a process because this is what you got to do. Period. And I'm not saying that because other coaches don't do it, is that other coaches is not preparing the kid correctly. They're not preparing the kid correctly because they don't know how to. They don't know how. It's the psychological that the kids coming from the different backgrounds or anything. They don't know that. They just know how to coach, like to do what they do. You know what I'm saying? Do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? They doesn't understand how to break a kid down and build a kid up the same way without even touching them physically. Is getting into mentally getting them and giving them that creative confidence to do they willing. They don't know how to do that.
Exactly. And
at the youth ball level. Let's keep it real, because I talked to high school coach and they were like, yo, man, what do you learn down there at youth ball? And they go, and that's just what it is, man. That's what it is, and we must to see this, because physically I saw it as coaching. I saw a coach put hands on a kid. This ain't nothing new. This ain't nothing new. Every org has some coach that flies off the handle.
Right.
And it's got to be checked. Like, all the coaches got to get together and say, yo, we don't do that. In our coaches fraternity, we don't do that. You need to go we don't do that.
Make it clear. Uncle Milt, let's make it clear there's levels to this.
Yes.
Okay? I mean, we fly off the handle as coaches all the time. And we have our different ways of handling things. Okay? But it's clear. That tape is clear.
Yeah.
That he flew the handle way beyond what's acceptable.
Coach, Coach, I saw it. Physically seen it. I physically seen it coaching. Very physically seen coaches when the cameras ain't on.
Yeah, so
I seen this. This is not every day. But it happens and it happens.
One time is enough.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be tolerated at all. That if you learn how to coach and you go to clinics and you take the coach's exam every year to be recertified to coach. They tell you this in it not to do it. And some people might say, "Oh, Uncle Milt, you no." Kids at this level, we have to retool our coaching ability, our knowledge of coaching.
Well, yeah, I mean, I see it everywhere. I was actually watching a couple of the national tournament games, and there was great coaching, there was great adjustments made, but also at the same time, I saw some weaknesses out there too. I'm not going to call anybody out, but there's a couple of games I saw where there were a lot of dominant teams that were dominant all season, and they went down there with the same plan, but nobody had a plan B.
No. So see that's
example,
yeah. Go ahead.
For example, I'm saying like you go down there and you have a certain set of formations that you've been using that have been killing everybody up here, right? Nobody had the answer, and then you go into a game against the team that made an adjustment after you scored on them off of that same formation in the first drive. They made a huge adjustment. Next thing you know, you don't score again. You have to have a plan B.
Yeah.
And it's on us. You see, but there's levels to this. It's not just vetting for, psychological stuff. It's also vetting for, know-how and creativity.
But Coach, okay.
So hold on. I'm not going off on a tangent like I'm great or anything.
No, I understand.
I go down there. I got a 2-4 record down there. I'm not perfect. I've been beat. And the times I've been beat, those were times that the coach on the other sideline had a plan C, D, and E.
Yeah.
You can't go down there with just plan A.
But this is the only level, Coach, that you can come on with no knowledge. Because this is the only level that you can't go to high school. You got to know something. College, you got to know something. You got to know people. Got to know you. You got to, what I mean. You can't. This is the only level that you come on with no knowledge of coaching. And this is the level that you need the training. You need to say, yo, before you become a coach and get a coach shirt, you must do these things. Other than that, you don't talk. You don't talk to the kids. You don't work the kids. You don't do anything. You don't say anything. The coaches say something because they qualified to coach.
Way to get us back on topic, Uncle Milt. You're right. As organizations,
yes,
we need to do a better job of vetting our coaches. We need to do a better job of having certification, training in place for our coaches and our coaching staff and everybody who's a staff member.
Exactly.
I even think team moms should be involved. Anybody who has anything to do with communication with the children, okay? They have to be vetted.
Yes.
They have to be certified, and they have to qualify for that position. It can't just be somebody that you found on the street that you don't know very well.
No.
And all of a sudden, starts walking up there and has access to everybody's kid.
Yeah. Oh, he got that kid is that stud running back. Damn, man, the kid. No, you got no. We want your kid, but you have to go through this. We always need team help. Team moms always need help. Help with the water. Help with the.
We cannot assume that everybody lives by the same code of conduct. We cannot assume, unfortunately, in this sad world, we cannot assume that not everybody's going to put their hands violently on a child that's not even their own child.
Yeah.
That was not even his own child. Could you imagine? Look, I got kids, bro.
Yeah, I know. I know the frustration, Coach.
Could you imagine if that was your kid?
Yeah,
I would not be outside.
The deal is this. I don't believe this was the first time.
And that's why none of his coaches, parents, nobody did anything.
That coach next to him,
that speaks highly of that program.
But Ralph, that coach next to him didn't do anything.
Exactly.
He didn't grab him. He didn't do anything.
And fellas, let me bring this up because this needs to be said. This is the elephant in the room. Okay? Here's some food for thought for you. Okay? You wonder why people look down on our culture? Okay, it's because we treat ourselves this way, and that people think that we allow stuff like this to happen.
Yeah.
And here we are as a black community,
Yeah.
and something like this happens, and now other people on the outside looking in are like, you see, they don't even care about each other.
How did
They don't even care about their youth.
Yeah.
They don't even take care of their own. Look what they're doing to themselves. This feeds into their narrative.
Yeah.
So when something like this happens, I'm so appalled at a level that something like this is just so irreprehensible on so many different levels.
Yeah.
And this needs to be corrected. This needs to be corrected.
Yeah. And this is and this what this show is about, Coach, is saying, okay, we don't, because it was an AYF tournament, right? It was an AYF tournament. How did this coach leave the state with that? So this is deeply rooted in that organization, and we're not picking on just that organization. Is that we got to take this as a learning curve to straighten out our own organization, because we do have a coach like that. He may not be hitting on the kids. He may be out there cursing. He may be out there saying stupid things to the kid. He may be out there putting kids. Yeah. Listen,
as a parent, I'm okay with cursing.
It's all the same. It's all the same. I said some words too out of passion, but I stopped and said, "Coach is sorry." You know. But the deal is this: if the agenda is that we, as the coaches that know better, should be the one leading the pack with the coaches that don't know better, and say, listen, if you want to do this, this is what you got to do. So we don't do that. Whoa, coach, come here. We don't do that. We don't do that. No, I don't care. We don't do that.
Also,
unacceptable.
Uncle Bill, I also got to bring this up. Did you hear the apology that Ralphie posted?
Yeah, a little bit. We played it. You know, we played it a little bit. We played, and you know
that apology tells you everything about that individual that you need to know. There was no remorse, and
he looks young.
There was a lack of accountability.
Yeah, he looks young. He looks real young though.
And he even mentioned that people are bashing him.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Because he's young. And I'm not making no excuse for him. Where's the president of this freaking? Well, how did he get there?
And they put a statement out. The president of their organization, they put a statement out saying that the whole coaching staff was relieved. They let their
why did it get to this point? You know, this ain't the first game.
This ain't the first time it was happening. Clearly,
come on now.
You let them go now because it went viral? That's why you let them go?
Wait a minute. It should have been day one. This is why these coaches got to learn how to coach. That's the thing. Because any real and Mr. Principal, if you was there, if you was a president of the org and you saw it in practice, would you allow him to be in the game?
No.
All right then. That's where it starts at.
He would be removed immediately.
Exactly.
If you got a child affiliation.
Come here. We don't do that. We don't do that here, man. Get out of here. We don't do that here.
And you know what? When I was in Georgia, we was on the team. I think it was Georgia Seminoles. We had a parent and a coach that did that to his kid. The president of the organization said, if this is what you're doing, you can take your kid and you have to go find another team because we don't condone that here. Yeah. So it was okay. If we have to lose the kid, we'll lose the kid, but we're not going to allow it.
And that's the culture. That is the culture we have to watch out. The coaching sorority. I'm saying sorority. I'm sorry. The culture coaching world, or the culture fraternity of coaching. Don't change. It's tweaked, but it's not changed. It's not changed. Period.
Yeah,
at this level, I'm saying, youth level.
We got to do better.
Exactly. So, even though they came out with an apology, I'm sure how this guy just didn't fly off the handle the first time. This happened a couple of times, and no one said nothing to this guy.
And what about that stupid video that lady put up of the kids crying?
Yeah.
So,
he's like protecting the coach. It's like, yo, you making an excuse of the coach? Oh, this is what y'all did. This is what y'all did. Y'all made it viral. No. Who is this? His wife or somebody? Who that lady?
I mean, that's
sound pathetic.
From a psychological standpoint, that's a sign of an abusive relationship. When the one being abused doesn't realize that they're being abused.
Yeah.
And that's a sign of love.
Yeah. So the deal is that they wait after to make a statement. I mean, I seen it done, and you take care of that day one. Stop. Come here, coach. You gotta be out of here. You out of here. Every coach is proud. Every coach is like, yo, you leaving today. You out of here. Don't ever come back. We don't do that here. That's it. All right, Coach, man, we're going to take a break.
Can I ask him a quick question before we go?
All right.
I heard him touch saying, he's 2-4 in the South, but he competes. What's your take on D1, D2 football?
D1, D2 football? I mean, every time I was down there, it was just I was in the D1 division.
Okay.
So I expect to be in the D1 division again. I feel, though, there is a talent disparity for some of these matchups. If the committees that are in charge can identify the talent level of the roster ahead of the games, then they could vet that and accurately set up a Division I and a Division II if they know exactly what kind of talent is on each roster. But I think that would be kind of hard to do ahead of time. I hear that people are doing that right now. I don't know how they're doing it, but
you and me both.
Yeah, I don't necessarily consider it a bad thing unless, I mean, if it's organized and there's a methodology behind it, I don't see it as a bad thing. But don't get it wrong, because people like myself who consider themselves, bringing down elite talent down there may get insulted, and they may slaughter this D2 that we put us in.
Yeah.
But it looks like, there could be a good old boys club down there.
Yeah, hold on. Listen, stick around. I gotta go to the break. Stick around, Greg. Stick around. We're gonna talk about that.
Okay.
You didn't hit a nerve like that. We going to the break. We be right back. Podcast show. We out.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to my Kingdom listeners. You're listening to Cynthia Boone. They call me the Queen of Cars. I am the CEO of Kingdom Cars Unlimited, where you will get a Kingdom experience, not a dealership one. We can get you any make or model, new or used. Don't worry about your credit. If it's bad, we don't talk bad. We say trouble, because trouble don't last always. Call us at 917-309-0233. That number again is 917-309-0233. Also, at Kingdom Cars Unlimited, you'll never walk onto a dealer's lot. We deliver your car to the door so you can drive and go forward.
Advertise with us at NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show. We offer your business to get in on the ground floor of a fast-moving podcast world. Advertise your products, your services, your events, your fundraisers, games, and tournaments with us with a video or voice ad on our show. For more info, call us at 347-776-7070. That's 347-776-7070, or on our new website at nycussports.org. That's nycussports.org, or email us at nycussportspodcastshow@gmail.com. That's nycussportspodcastshow@gmail.com. Fundraising is the key to accumulate resources to help kids in youth sports. We at the Podcast Show NYC Youth Sports, a nonprofit 501c, dedicate our time and resources to take on this task. With your help, we can raise funds to invest in events, games, the podcast show, in return, create sponsorships, school grants for future athletes, sports equipment, apparel and travel, and so much more. There's 3 ways you can help us. With a $25 donation, we partner up with Amazon that we have our podcast t-shirts on their site. 2, you can cash up us a donation any size. It would be appreciative. Is at NYC U Sports Cash App or 347-776-7070. That's 347-776-7070. And this is the last thing. And if you can't do number 1 and you can never do number 2, please do this. Go to our YouTube page and subscribe and leave a comment. That's all we ask. These 3 things, and you'll be helping our show tremendously for us to help kids. Okay? So these 3 things, and leave your comments, call our hotline, and view us every Wednesday, 8 o'clock on YouTube, Facebook group, and all the other media sites. Thank you for listening. We hold on. Oh, back. This is the last part of the show. We got Coach Principal on. Ralph, you still with us? D1 podcast coming soon. In 2021. Okay. We want to take it back to Coach Principal. What would you say, Coach Principal, before we went to the break?
Yeah, you guys were asking me about, how do I feel? Well, Ralphie had a good question about how I feel about D1s and D2s going into tournaments. And I was saying that it could be a good idea if the committee were properly vetting the rosters and knew the level of talent that was on each roster, and then, projecting the matchups ahead of time. But at the same time, I don't know how you would be able to do that. Then, maybe there's a good old boys club in the background, making these decisions based off of who knows what. Mm-hmm. And then now we got people, we got very proud people that think they should be in D1, and then they end up in D2 because they don't know anybody. Mm-hmm. And then you have turmoil. So.
Yeah. I believe it.
Like I was telling you guys during the break,
I believe in that.
I'm learning as I go. Right?
Yeah, I believe that in some point in time, there's those backroom talks. We get it here at the show. Sometimes we get our phones answered, and sometimes we don't. It's like it's that with the show. And I don't want to bring it back, on the show, but I'm explaining something about my about my platform. People will feel like, hey, listen, we asked the question, we put it out there, we service the kids and the parents. When we promote the organizations all the way around, and it's even all the way around. We get both sides of the story. So it's out there that I know let's put this out there. Milton is different than Uncle Milt, Coach Uncle Milt. Milton don't really care. Milton is a businessman. Milton see that it's a platform, and it seems like, I look at it like it's $81 billion in the youth sports market. Hey, let's do it. Uncle Milt cares about what comes on the platform. So I call you up and ask you a question. I don't want to have to fight you and not calling me. I ain't going through all that. I praise the person that calls up. I praise Jay. Jay calls up, but I ain't trying to hear from Jay. I'm trying to hear from the other people. That's whispering. Don't let that guy. Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you to say don't talk to me or don't let this person play? Who the hell are you? Be a man and let's debate on that. Be a man. Come out and let's debate on that. Who are you? to say you're better than the next person. And it's all youth football. It's all amateur football.
I mean,
who are those people?
And
they out there, and they are out there. And that's what I despise. I big everybody up, everybody. But I despise that type because you're weak. You're weak. You're not real. And you're not for the kids. And you're not for the sports. The sports do not travel around you only. The sports, it's got to be expanded. It's got to be nurtured. And it's got to grow overall.
That's the key word, Uncle Mill. That's the key word, Uncle Mill. Grow the game.
Grow the game. Grow the game. It's only good business. It's only good business.
A lot of people out here would rather work in silos, right?
Well,
would rather work in silos, and they're killing the game and not growing.
Exactly. It's killing it.
It's the people who duck wreck. It's the people who make connections and badmouth others with their rivals. Mm-hmm. It's the people that try to deplete, other programs. It's so crazy at every level up here, and people don't realize that it leads to us not being able to unify and create a structure like a lot of the stronger states in football have.
Yes.
To create a unified champion at whatever, you can have a D1, a D2, a D3 based on whatever. I mean, you could have a committee to determine that. But we don't have that unified structure because of the
crabs in the barrel. Crabs in the barrel effect.
We're so divided.
Yes.
That's crazy, and it's parental. It's on so many different levels. It's crazy, and just as one guy trying to navigate this, I'm trying to take a group of kids from all across the island and now even Brooklyn, kids that I'm in charge of coaching, and I'm trying to set them up to be the best that they can be, just to prepare them for school. And I was trying to tell, I try to tell as many people as I can about this, but if you're a coach, you got to understand, and we were talking about this before, we are all in the same boat. Our job is to get these kids ready for school. And if we all think like that and not work in silos, maybe we could get closer to unifying everything and have everything under one structure. But I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Yeah, but I mean, we just like I told you off the air, Coach, it starts from the good coaches and making and be on the other side of starting our own coalition, and also have our arms open for those like-minded people and educate them, and also allow the people who's mixed up that's doing it, when they get their act together, bring them on board. You know what I'm saying? So we know who it is out there. We know who's out there with that mess. They can't look themselves in the mirror. They can't look themselves. I can look myself in the mirror. I know what I'm doing. I got a platform, and I'm taking my own resources and invest in my platform, and I'm trying to do something. You know what I'm saying, for to funnel through and to help kids also, and help myself too. Not let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. $81 billion out there in business revenue. 81 billion in revenue. Some people are helping themselves. So don't get mad because you got some people that want to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
come on.
The other side of that, Uncle Mill, to each his own, of course. I respect that. And I appreciate you keeping it real.
I'm keeping it real.
I'm just trying to move these kids up the ladder, make sure they get the proper training for school. And I'm trying to make sure that they get it at the cheapest cost possible.
And
I got people fighting me. Real quick. I got people on my own staff fighting me over, uniforms and getting fancy.
Yes.
If we had pots and pans on our heads, I wouldn't care.
What do you need? What do you need, Coach? What do you need, Coach? You need equipment. You need equipment. You can't hit each other. You need pads. You need a sled. You need all of this. How you think you're gonna get all this stuff? How?
Well, if we all can give
exactly.
There's a lot of people that have played the game, and maybe 1%, a little less than 1% makes the NFL. Where do the rest of the college players go? They get They get lucrative careers.
Exactly.
People that didn't even make
Hold on a second, Coach. Hold on a second. Please hold. I don't know what happened to him. You there, Coach? Hello? Coach, you there?
Yeah, I'm
all right, we're back. So I was trying to get them to hold. I must have hit the wrong button. Call back. Whoever was that, call back. I hit the wrong button. Sorry. Go ahead, Coach.
No doubt. I'm just saying, there's people that went to college, and there are people that didn't even get into college. There's people that have gone on, and they were successful, and there's something intangible that the youth game gave to them. That not even just the youth game, as they came up in the ranks, they feel that football gave them life lessons, and they're willing to give back, not just their time. But there's people with the bandwidth to give back and to sponsor. These people have maybe grown into business owners. If we find the right sponsorships and the right support, we don't have to, go after, single mothers.
Yeah, you're right.
Who don't have the dough.
Yes.
It's the kid right now. And I'm trying to get this kid in the BX. I'm trying to get this kid in the BX to come with me to Atlanta. It's not financially possible right now for him, and I'm trying every avenue that I can.
Well, but hold on, Coach. Let's answer this because hold on, Coach, because you're a business person, like I'm a business person. And what do these sponsors want from us? What do these sponsors want from us?
They want advertising. That's how.
And they want what? People buying a product. Bottom line.
Right.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Sponsorship is more about visibility.
Yes.
Visibility is the advertisement.
Yes. Yes. That's what it's about.
So they don't want the money out of your pocket. They want the visibility.
But the visibility ends up doing something for them also.
Right.
They product. They product. To sell a product. That's the business. That's the business of it. And what we need to do is understand the business of it. Because we support products. We buy products. But what are they doing for us? Just understand what they're looking for. Once you understand what they're looking for, you know how to talk to them. You know how to deal with them. And then we had something on the show. I ain't gonna go into it. That we should never say exploiting kids. No, we should never say that. But exploiting the business of youth sports, yes, we are doing it. They're doing it. That's it. I gotta go, man. I gotta get off the airs after 10. Coach, thank you very much. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. We gotta bring you in. We gotta get a circle of real coaches and real people who involved in youth sports and start our own coalition and get people in, and also be ready for those who's on the other side of it. When they get open, when they get their mind right to it ain't about them, it's about everybody, and bring them in.
Have a good night.
We're trying to change this.
Good night, Ralphie.
Huh?
All right, Greg.
All right. Thanks, Coach. We missed the call, but I'm sorry we missed them. We get ready to get off the air. The closing comment is this, man. Two things. We're having our show, our last show on the 16th for the season. We're going to be off for about maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Depends. We'll be back second week, third week of January with a new show. With a new, same show, but new things, Hopefully we get sports opened up in New York City so we can talk about some other things like we do. We are all sports show. D1 Nation podcast is coming. We got some good news on the channel level. We hammering out a new channel. And we're gonna encourage, other people to come on to our new channel, and we're gonna launch. We probably ready next week with that, and if not, we bring it back in January with our new channel. We glad to get D1 podcast on the channel. We're on the channel. Podcast shows on the channel. We got a couple other people we're gonna launch on the channel, and this is what youth sports is about in New York City. Is everything. It's basketball, track, soccer, everything. Anything that youth are doing in New York City, we're going to be about. We're going to be up on it. Hopefully this COVID cloud leaves us alone so we can have sports again. Basketball, Tiny Mike, Junior Mites, and Tiny Mites and Junior Mites is coming up in the spring. And, we're going to be doing some things. Ralph got something going on in January down in Georgia, and we're going to be on that. We're going to be on that. Uncle Milt taking the show on the road, So there's a lot of things we're going to be doing. And remember, we at the podcast show, we about spreading the love. We about, not about, dividing. We're about bringing us together. We're about bringing us together. We talk to the people who don't like us. We talk to the people who like us, and that's how it is. You got a problem, with us. You got a problem with a comment that we made. You got a problem with something we do. Don't hide in circles. Don't talk bad about the show. Call us up. 347-776-7070. 347-776-7070, and be a man and be a woman and sit and debate. That's the only way we can settle it. Sit and debate. Shout out to Jay. Jay is a gentleman. Jay is a gentleman. They said Jay is the politician. I said yes, but Jay is a gentleman. He had a problem with what we said. He called up, so I always have respect for Jay, for the phenomenal Mike and Jay show. I don't talk bad about the show, but that they throw shots. I throw a little shots back too. Ralph, how you doing, man? You want to plug something?
Man, I don't like shots, man. I don't like subliminals.
But they this part of it.
I'm from the place that if you got something to say it. Don't beat around the bush.
Call us up. Do what Jay do. Get on the phone. Get on the phone. Come in. You can be right here. Come in this beautiful studio and be right here, and we can debate. And if we
like
wrong,
I said it before when Lennox was on the line, I am not New York football.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to do my part to help expose New York football.
And we thank you for that. That's why I like you. That's why I'm a part of what you do. I'm a do my part because you about New York football, and that's it. That's it. It's about taking over nobody's platform or nobody's. You're not in the way of the leagues. You do not hurt the leagues, and if you are, they need to call up and say what you are. But don't say behind closed doors, this ain't this, that ain't this, that ain't that. Who those people? Stand up like a man and a woman and make your views heard so we can debate about it. Uncle Milt, 26 episode in the can. We be back. Riot Squad! Go get that trophy, man. Go get that trophy, Riot Squad. D1, D2, 12U. Show. Go get that trophy. Bring it back to New York City. And we'll be very, very happy. All right? We 26th episode. We'll be back next week. And I'm out.
talk. I gotta tell what I feel. I gotta talk about my life as I see it.